So welcome back everybody to episode 9. We're going to talk a little bit about ruggedized industrial switching and kind of the 101 primer, if you will. So your switch, your office switch, was built for a wiring closet. Typical mounting frames, typical environmentals. The plant floor is different. So when we think about an office switch in an industrial space, they don't really fit out there, right? So a ruggedized switch is not just an office switch with a tougher label on it, right? It's different. It is what switching looks like when it is designed for the industrial reality. And that reality is not pretty. It's very different from a climate controlled IT closet. So on a plant floor, inside a cell, in a machinery cabinet, the switch may be dealing with vibration. It's going to be dealing with electrical noise, great temperature swings, and maybe even liquids, dust, tight spaces. The whole nonstop operation is going to be occurring on the plant floor. So that changes our hardware requirements, right? So the ruggedized switch is built for survivability and uptime. That can mean fanless designs. That means that I can't be sucking in plant air, dirty air, contaminants. That means that I've got to be able to sustain a wide temperature swing from cold to hot. I've got to be in compact footprint. So I'm not necessarily always going to be in your rack 19 mount. I may be into a compact DIN rail switch we'll talk about in another episode. I have to have unique mounting options because I have to be mounted right where the gear is. I have to be redundant power, but I also may have to talk about different types of power. Where in the switching closet or the IT closet, you're typically running AC power everywhere. When we start getting on the plant floor, we start talking about connecting to DC power shelves. So all of that on top really is designed to support resilience and recovery. So in other words, that ruggedized switching platform is not about looking tougher, it's about being tougher. It's about working reliably. It's about being where the operation really happens, where the I guess the rubber meets the road, depending on the industry, where the dirt happens, where the environment is pretty violent. So here's a simple example. So suppose that you have a cell on a production line. Inside that cell, the network may be connected to a controller or may connect a controller, sorry. The HMIs, sensors, cameras, upstream systems, all that stuff is going to connect. And if that switch becomes the weak link in that chain and communications suffer, well, guess what? IoT suffers. And the impact can scale very quickly from a switch outage, from a network problem to an operations problem to a plant down to a manufacturing line down. That is why ruggedized switching really matters. It's the hardware response and how it responds to these industrial conditions. So it helps, just to kind of summarize, it helps bring stable connectivity closer to the machines, in the cabinets, in the enclosures, in the cells, in the substation, in the roadside cabinet, in the refinery, in the pump station, wherever the activity is. Enterprise gear is not going to last or is not going to be able to recover fast enough in those type of environments. We're going to start losing due to temperature swings, due to dust, due to other environmentals. But this is where products like the Cisco Industrial Ethernet switch really fits in. They're built to extend switching into that OT environments. They are built to handle reliability, resilience, and industrial form factors. So because that switching is now part of a broader OT architecture, these switches can also support things like dynamic segmentation, improved visibility, which is going to be absolutely key, as we'll talk about in the future when we're going to start talking about the effect of AI and how we have to do compensating controls to secure our environments. So if you remember one thing from this episode, remember this. Ruggedized switching is not overbuilt office network. It is absolutely not. It is a purpose-built industrial connectivity platform. And on that plant floor, the switch is not just part of the network, it is part of the uptime. And as always, remember our tagline. We're here to see it, we're here to secure it, we want to segment it, and we want to scale it. So join us next episode where we're going to talk about the DIN rail switch and the type of mounting options and how it is different from the IT closet. Thank you very much. Have a great day.